In the world of tech, there's this super critical role that's basically the glue between a great idea and a product that actually works. So today, we're diving into what it means to be a tech business analyst. Have you ever just wondered how a brilliant business idea turns into the app you use on your phone every single day? It's a pretty wild journey, from a concept scribbled on a whiteboard to actual functional code. And honestly, it's on that journey where a lot of great ideas, well, they just fall apart. And a huge reason they fall apart is because that journey often slams right into a massive roadblock. We call it the business tech gap. It's this classic, all too common problem where the people with the business vision and the people building the technology are just not on the same page at all. I mean, you've really got two completely different worlds. On one side, you have the business team, and they're laser focused on goals, profits, and what the customer needs. Then on the other side, you have the technical team. They're deep in the weeds of code, databases, and system architecture. The thing is, they're often speaking completely different languages, and that disconnect is what causes all the problems. Project delays, budgets getting blown up, and products that just kind of miss the mark. So what's the solution? You have to build a bridge. And in the tech industry, that bridge is the business analyst. This role was literally created to connect these two worlds, to translate between them and make sure they're moving forward together in lockstep. Now, if you look up the official industry definition, it sounds a little formal, right? It talks about enabling change by defining needs to deliver value. And yeah, that's totally accurate, but let's break down what that really means day to day. This right here, this is the heart of it. The BA is the translator, they're the diplomat, they're the person who can stand firmly in both worlds and make absolutely sure that what the business wants is exactly what the tech team builds. A huge part of the BA's job is translation. And probably the most important translation they do is turning a need into a requirement. Now, those words might sound kind of similar, but trust me, the difference between them is absolutely crucial for any project success. Let's use a super simple example. A need is the big picture problem. I'm frequently late to the office. Okay, that's a real issue, but you can't build a solution from that alone. The BA's job is to dig in and figure out the specific requirements. It's not just about getting a car, right? You also need a driver's license. The BA is the one who uncovers all those essential little pieces to make sure the final solution actually solves the problem. So what does this actually look like in a real project? Well, in today's super fast-paced, agile world of software development, the business analyst is plugged in at every single step of the way. The whole process is this continuous loop. It kicks off with a client's idea. The BA then jumps in to refine that idea into clear, actionable requirements. The tech team builds a small working piece of it. Then, and this is so important, the BA demos that piece back to the client, gets their feedback, and the whole cycle starts all over again. The BA is the constant, the person who keeps the entire project on track and true to that original vision. So, if you're thinking this role sounds pretty interesting, what does it take? A successful business analyst relies on a really unique blend of skills. You can think of it like a toolkit for solving problems and communicating effectively. And inside that toolkit, you'll find this cool mix of skills. It's partly about analytical thinking, being able to break down really complex problems. It's part business savvy, understanding the big picture goals. It is heavily reliant on communication skills to translate between the teams. And yeah, it requires just enough tech awareness to know what's possible, but you don't actually have to be a coder yourself. All right, but let's talk about the elephant in the room. In a world where AI is changing just about everything, what's the future for the business analyst? Is this a career that's actually future-proof? Well, here's the fascinating thing. As AI gets better and better at handling the routine stuff, like basic coding and testing, the purely human skills of the BA are becoming even more valuable. That ability to understand nuance, to navigate complicated human relationships, and to translate a vague feeling into a precise plan, that's something AI just can't replicate easily. Which really leaves us with a pretty powerful final thought. As our technology gets exponentially smarter, is it possible that the most critical job of all will be the person who bridges the gap between that technology and us? A role that's less about writing code and a whole lot more about understanding people.